I love the noises.
I actually hate his noises. This is the stupidest link ever.
That was close.
If that guy respawns, I'm gonna be not happy.
No, he's gone. Easy mode of the game.
Again, I rolled. Didn't mean to. Did you want to read that Reddit thread? Do you want to talk about that?
Yeah,
stuff?
sure, man.
I wanted to talk to the viewers about some important Super Smash Bros. Melee related business.
Let me go to my personal whispers with you.
Because I have. You're using whispers on Twitch. You want to do that? We could use that as our main method of communicating, Ben.
Nah, I'm good.
You sure?
Yo, King Trey H, thank you for the 5 months in a row.
Oh, 5 months. What a fighter. What a hero. Thank you.
So Bobby brought up to me this young lady. Should I post it in the chat?
Sure. Yeah, I got in some hot water.
Hot water.
With some of the good people of our Smash Bros.
And yeah, so I'm just gonna read the comment that Jazniak posted in our Smash Bros.
And you tell me, Ben, if you agree or if you disagree or what your thoughts are.
I'm gonna read it. Yeah, I'm gonna do that.
I want to have an educated, intelligent, civil discussion.
Jazniak says, "This is the sort of shit that makes me really dislike Scar sometimes. It started out with him shit-talking Ladandis all the time and leading to him getting constant abuse at tournaments. And you can act like Scar is reformed and has changed, constantly shit-talking 20GX and calling Optimal Falcon Shadow Falcon, demonizing optimization of a character, and acting like it's not hype really sways fans and causes unnecessary hatred within the community. I mean, seriously, why not just let people play the game the way they want to play it? That's what Melee is all about, right? How can you be the people's champ when you only care about the people who share your philosophy about the game?"
You actually are a really good dramatic reader. That was quite good, Ben.
How can you call yourself the people's champ?
Well, first of all, do I? Do I call myself the people's champ? I thought that I explicitly did not. And then I leave it to the people to decide. I just heard.
Yeah, I have to wait till it.
Oh, we don't know who it was.
Yeah, I just have to wait and get the whole bit off of it, you know.
Gotta wait. I have to get it.
So how can you do that, man?
I mean, I just don't. I don't agree with a lot of what is said, like as stated, right? I'm not sure that's.
You want me to respond to it first?
I'm not sure that's the right characterization. Yeah, sure. I mean, what do you, as someone who listens to my commentary, what do you think? Because I only know from the perspective of the person who's talking.
Okay, look, man.
Look, man.
I guess I have a couple of feelings about this. One is the you responded. I didn't see your response. I read Iron Soldier 820's response, and I agree a lot with Iron Soldier 820's response. I can read his response if you think that's helpful. But I guess I think two things. One is
I want to know what the chat thinks as well, but I do want to know what you think and what Iron Soldier thinks.
Yeah, I'm going to read what Iron Soldier says and expand on my point. He says, "All right, I don't see anybody posting a counterpoint here yet, so I'll bite. Scar's shit-talking is intended to be playful ribbing. It's for entertainment value, building hype, constructing narratives. He's just trying to make shit interesting. That's it. When he typecasts Optimal Falcon as Shadow Falcon, he's constructing a narrative with Shadow Falcon as the antagonist. Conversely, when LCS casters play softball with their players, they're having nothing to do with the size of their scene. LCS is big because Riot throws millions of dollars at it, whereas Nintendo throws zero at ours. Everything Scar does is to push Melee forward and stir interest. It is completely ridiculous to scapegoat Scar as the reason for unnecessary hatred within the community. There will always be unnecessary hatred within any gaming community because it's a video game community. If your idea of a caster's responsibility is that they can't say anything that might be misconstrued as inciting negativity against players, then you're just going to get two people discussing frame data each set. Scar doesn't hop on the mic with a thought, I'm going to stir up a hate mob against so-and-so in order to demonize and ostracize him because I don't like how he plays. He hops on the mic to entertain. I've seen plenty of valid critiques of Scar's commentary, but be less entertaining because your fans might take one of your jokes too far isn't one of them. So,
yeah, I generally agree with that.
That was from the Reddit user Iron Soldier 820.
And I think that I thanked Iron Soldier 420
Yeah. So I think what he's saying is pretty accurate. And when we were talking,
these guys are merciless.
Yeah, merciless. When there was another player who complained about your commentary, we were talking about.
Oh yeah, I remember.
And
this.
the way that I explained it to myself, holy shit, you're getting junked, dude. You're
gonna keep shooting me.
You're gonna get legit killed by that thing. There's 2 of them this time.
Ledandist. Getting tech chased.
Air wobbled. So in college, I used to write for the satirical newspaper. And the rule that we had in the satirical newspaper was that we couldn't make fun of anybody who's smaller than us. By which we meant that, like, we wouldn't target individual students unless they were, like, big names on campus. So we made fun of the president of our campus, of our school, all the time. We made fun of, like, the editor-in-chief of the lead newspaper all the time. But we wouldn't, like, attack a random single kid. Because, like, that's just, that's just bad form, right? Like,
I agree.
We're playing down.
Did I get this far last time?
Yes. I think so. Maybe not.
I don't remember this. Did we catch up?
Maybe.
No, I don't think so, because I don't think that I've gotten the Master Sword yet, right?
No, yeah, you definitely got the Master Sword. No, you definitely played this guy. I remember this guy.
He must be free money, because I remember all the bosses being free. Okay, keep going. This is very interesting.
Yeah,
Don't attack people smaller than you.
It was not the Onion, somebody asked. This was, I went to a school called Brandeis. But it's just like, as a frame of reference, like, if you're going to make fun of somebody and, like, attack them in a really, kind of mean way, the type of satire that we did was, like, actually, honestly, very, very mean, because that was the point of a satirical newspaper, is, like, making fun of this person's policies, or making fun of, the fact that we, like, no longer got food at the cafeteria, or shit like that, making fun of this one professor, right? We never wanted to create a situation where people saw us as, like, the shit talkers of the community. And that was the way that we thought about it. So when I think about your commentary, and I think about commentary in general, like, top players, and by that I mean people that are on the Melee Omni top 100 who show up to tournaments all the time, they're the entertainment, right? They're the people that bring the entertainment, and, like, if you're going to create the stories around them, you have to be able to talk about them positively and negatively. Now, if it's round 1 of pools, and you're, like, watching a player play, and you're, like, calling this person the shittiest Falco you've ever seen in your life, and the fact that he can't L-cancel complete shit, that is bad form, right? That is clearly cool. Bad. But when you make fun of, like, Wizrobe, right? And I don't think you're actually making fun of him, but you're just describing his play in a certain way, right? Like, you're doing...
I don't have very many arrows, by the way.
You're doing what Iron Soldier is saying. You're making that entertainment. And I think that's...
I think it's important. It's important for the viewers to understand.
So that's part of how I view it. And the other thing is just, like, the jokes that you're making, I don't really think... Oh, you fucked up. Are...
How am I going to get more arrows?
So bad at their expense. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So... those are my thoughts on it. I can read your response if you'd like. Or you can read your response.
Do you think Ledandis is, if I were working at your newspaper, like, is Ledandis bigger than me? Is he smaller than me? Like, am I allowed to talk about what I think about his playstyle?
At Bay Area Monthlies? Yeah. He, like, won the last one before that one, right?
Probably, I don't know.
He got, like, top 3. I mean, also, like, a lot of what you were saying wasn't mean to Ledandis. You were accurately describing what Ledandis did.
I thought that's what I was doing.
The other thing, I don't know if you necessarily need to take that into consideration, but the other thing is that, like, I don't know. Here's the way I'll describe what I'm about to say, which is that, like, in real life, I'm a pretty big troll.
Yes, it's true.
And I basically try to never troll the people who, like, can't defend themselves or don't act in a way such that I believe they deserve to be trolled, right? Or don't think that they can handle it, right? Ledandis is a guy who, like, if you take him at face value, he's literally delusional, right? Like, I can tell you a story about Ledandis that, like, if I didn't know who he was, I would legit think that he was a crazy person. So like, I don't know, it's like one of those things where if you're willing to dish it out, you better be willing to take it in.
I definitely think that he dishes it out, whether he admits to that or realizes it or not. Let me just watch what's going on here. I'm entirely unsure of what to do at this point. Because when I had arrows, I kept hitting him.
Yeah.
Now that I don't have arrows...
maybe you're just shit out of luck. You got 3 arrows left. 3 quick ones?
I don't have enough to take these guys out.
Oh.
I guess I just hit him with my sword. You see, not like that. But...
So, I'm going to read your response while you try to battle this boss.
This is actually the most fucking boring boss fight of my entire life.
Here, I will link the Reddit post once again. And the other thing is, I watched the video that the Reddit post was about, like the original video, and I agree.
The Gravy video?
Yeah, I agree with what Gravy's saying.
Me too. He didn't mention.
He didn't mention you. Yeah. And I definitely feel for that. I definitely understand where he's coming from, and it's
maybe I can Mystic Leaf this guy.
It's pretty difficult. Anyway, I'll read your response. Bobby says, Twitter brought me here. Interesting discussion to say the least, and I will absolutely read through all these posts. Smiley face. The one thing I would like to say here is that, as a commentator and a sometime streamer, I have said a lot of things, and almost none of the viewers hear everything that I say. That's unfortunate, because my main motivation during commentary is to entertain the viewers. And brevity is the soul of wit, aka don't waste people's time, aka keep the message simple and concise. I'm definitely not good enough to be both concise and perfectly nuanced, so I say things like Shadow Falcon, to give as many viewers as possible some insight into what's going on, as well as the context. On many non-commentary streams, and this is my point, I'm much more serious, and I address some of the shorthand things that I say on my commentary. Among them are that A, everyone should be able to play any game whatever way makes them happy, and B, Gravy is amazing, not only as a person, but as a scientist and a player. And at one point was my sensei. If you care at all what I think, or why I do what I do it because I believe that Melee is the best game ever, and I want to share this amazing game with as many people as possible. I definitely have failed to make everyone happy in my efforts to do this, but I'm doing my best. And I do mess up, and I try to do better. But yeah, I'm sure I'll make many more mistakes on my journey, and I appreciate the understanding of the viewers who bear with me. Wait, the boss gave you arrows? How'd you beat it?
It was actually fucking free.
You said it was the hardest boss
it was so
you
easy.
ever been faced.
It was so easy. I was thinking, like, okay, I don't have enough arrows, like, I don't want to run out of resources, and then I was just like, alright, what would be the dumbest thing possible? And my answer to that, my own question, was, if I run out of arrows, the boss just gives me more arrows. So I ran out of arrows, and then the boss gave me more arrows.
That was Bobby's statement. Yeah, does anybody have
I do. I say
Reddit?
very many things.
Yeah, Reddit post.
And I think if I had to restate anything, it's not that I'm more serious off.
Yo, good morning. Thank you for the
so much
5
for the
bits.
Yeah, it's not that I'm more serious when I'm not on commentary, but I have more time, you know? I have more time to talk about shit, so I can give that additional context.
Yeah, I mean...
But yeah, what am I supposed to say about Wizzy's play in order to explain to people the context that he is a different Falcon, right? He does things differently than anybody else has kind of tried to do it, aside from the rest of 20GX. And Gamer Guitarist 7, for those of you who remember him, which is nobody, so why should I even mention him? Like, I really shouldn't. So anyway, that's what I think.
Yeah, so... Yeah, that was what you said on Reddit. And I definitely agree with you. Melee is the
best game ever.
Pretty difficult game to cast, I would say, because you compare it to other games. So, like, I cast Magic the Gathering. In Magic the Gathering, you basically have infinite time to talk about what's going on, because the matches last 50 minutes. There's like 1 minute of action every like 5 minutes. It's you have infinite time to basically talk about everything. With League of Legends and MOBAs like Dota 2, you know, there's periods of time where there's downtime where you can talk about random stuff, and then there's periods of action where you have to talk really, really quickly, right? In both of these cases, like both Magic and MOBAs, and even to some extent in Counter-Strike, there's this huge amount of downtime that you can fill with talking about stuff. But in Melee, you basically get 6 minutes of pure action, followed by 30 seconds of them changing characters, followed by...
Or if it's Wizrobe, you get several minutes.
Sure. 6 minutes.
Because he runs away. Am I allowed to say that?
Yeah, I mean...
Is that am I demonizing Wizrobe?
Sure, man.
I don't know, it might be.
Mike Ross is demonizing Wizrobe. It's... Yo, Jay Schauk, thank you for 5 months in a row.
Oh, 5 months. Impressive.
And... Yeah, I mean... That's tough. Street Fighter's the same way, right?
Yeah.
It's pretty tough to talk about what you want to talk about and set the storylines in that case. And I completely agree with you with what you posted, which is that you need to say what's going on, tell the story really, really, really quickly. And sometimes you say things that aren't particularly nuanced. Yeah, that's the language you
corners.
Used. Yeah.
In order to convey something
now,
in a good enough way.
Now when you say, if this person wins the game, I'm just going to leave. I'm going to leave this tournament. I'm going to go away from the office and stop playing Melee. I think that's taking it perhaps a little too far. It's fucking funny.
Maybe. I mean, I say I'm going to leave in every context. Like, I've said that since I started, you know? You just take your headset off and you walk away. It's a standard commentator joke. Prog's done it. D1's done it. Whether it's from a hype perspective or whatever.
Unplug your controller.
I think maybe there's a disconnect in how serious that statement is. To me, that's a very, like, trivial... It's like, oh, I'm just going to leave.
Yeah.
Like, if I died at that boss, I'm out.
I was making fun of you.
I'm just saying, because I have had someone be upset with me for saying something like that. But I could say something like, if this boss kills me, I'm just going to leave. And I'll probably leave, but I'll come right back. That's what I do every time. You're probably wondering where we are, aren't you?
You definitely got to this part.
Shut up.
So I'm curious what people in the chat think. I don't know. I've never really done one of these discussions.
I think it's interesting.
Via Twitch chat. I do think it's interesting.
The other thing that I'll say is that, like,
definitely, Sequel makes that a good point, which is, I feel like nothing you said is as brutal as Toph yelling at that guy to quit.
I've never yelled directly at someone, I'll tell you that. Oh, yeah, so basically what I do is I find out that Terra is Zelda, cool, and then I murder all of these frozen people. Basically, Anakin Skywalker, when he becomes Darth Vader, and murders everyone in the Jedi Temple. This is pretty much the flip side of that story.
I remember this part pretty well. I also remember how quiet it was.
And the children!
This is so sad. Mike Ross, the item you seek is hidden somewhere in this castle.
Blah, blah, blah.
Terra,
what is a aka
Tetra.
What is a heraldry? He just used this fucking word that doesn't even make sense. Stupid ship. I remember this puzzle. This sucks.
Where can you find the VODs of me casting MTG?
I've listened to some.
You have? Really? Yo, good morning. Thanks for the 10 bits. People do need somewhat of a thicker skin when it comes to things like this. Let me...
So, Ben, I'm interested in what you think about what I was thinking on my ride into work. Like, a part of it had to do with this feeling that I had that, like, players feel entitled to get a certain kind of commentary that I don't necessarily agree with. Like, playing the game doesn't... You know, I guess, like, even when I think about ping pong, I rewatch ping pong, it's like they make a big point of just, like, keep your head in the game and, like, don't worry about the other shit. It's like, as a competitor, I get that, like, people not only want to win, but they want to win in a way that, like, that people talk about them in a certain way. I don't know. It just feels like you're kind of asking for too much at a certain point. Like, I should be able to talk about what I see, and, like, why do I have to do more than that, I guess, was what I was thinking about.
Yeah.
I think viewers should be entitled to a certain level of entertainment, you know? Like, if the commentator's not entertaining you, then that sucks. And, like, you should not do it. But I think as a player, wanting to... I'm trapped in the middle of the Triforce.
Yo, PMC UCD
That could've
Ghost,
gone a
thank you
different
for the
way.
5 months. Scar, are you at least hyped for Breath of the Wild?
Yeah, Breath of the Wild looked pretty dope. Oh!
The worst thing Scar ever said was when some fox camped a peach and Scar wondered if the fox could sleep with himself at night.
I remember that.
It was
It was a random fox playing
Yeah.
like a super campy peach.
said in a joking way, though I thought it wasn't bad.
It was
Yo,
definitely a
Natty
joking way.
says, is that we line in an age where people get offended easily? I really understanding or completely misunderstanding the message. I guess I don't think that it's thank you for the $5.
contribution.
NATY 21121. I honestly think that as a group of people we could be more sensitive, but the types of things that you talk about aren't the things that I feel like people are too sensitive about. I think that, or like aren't too sensitive about, right? Like I think that
The things that I talk about.
yeah.
Yeah, because in general, like, you know, I'm pretty sensitive around like what language I think is like acceptable and not. The thing that I'm more liberal about is like being negative about performances from players. Generally, I do my best to not talk about someone as a person unless I find it funny. Like with that fox, I don't know that fox is a person, but translating his playstyle into how do you sleep at night, I think is like actually kind of funny. At the same time, if that person watches it, I could see them being like frustrated that they were characterized this way. But I also think about like every talk show in the world. Like when Stephen Colbert makes fun of somebody, when they watch it, do they feel good about that? Like no, but his job is not to make the subject of the joke feel good. It's to make the viewers laugh.
Yeah. I mean,
I don't think it's great that you do it at someone's expense, but like at the same time, you do have to. I want to be entertaining.
I guess what I'm saying is that there's just different levels at it, right? Like if you call somebody like, you know, the fact that, you know, they're this type of person is bad, like they're this ethnicity or
Of
you know,
course.
stuff like that. That's obviously people I don't think are sensitive enough to that because like
I agree.
but when you say that this person maybe lame's not
Look
a great
at this elf noob.
Great word
Fucking
to
hate
use.
Elves.
yeah, fucking hate
Link
elves.
that stupid with his stupid elf lineage.
But
Get it?
yeah.
It's like not even funny. I just wanted to make a stupid joke. Where's Tara? She's supposed to show up.
Tetra.
Keep going.
If you say that like, you know, so and so is like trying really hard in a tournament where he's playing people far below his level, and you're making fun of the fact that he's doing that, I don't think I have a problem with that. I think, especially if you say it in an entertaining way, that's hella funny. And like, you know, that person needs to lighten up a little bit. Scar's commentating is the truth. It's real. It's what a lot of people are thinking but wouldn't say, but Scar says it, and it's funny AF. Thank you, Panini Wizard.
Thanks, Panini Wizard. I hope so.
Embark70 makes a good comment. Other problems include a diverse community, which means people have preferences when it comes to commentary and the way things are handled. Everybody can't be pleased.
Yeah. No, like I've heard perspectives varying from. Someone said on Twitter that like since commentators don't get paid, no one should have any expectations for what they say. Like they should literally be expectationless. They should be held to no standard whatsoever. I obviously don't agree with that. I think that like there's enough supply and demand, like free market shit, that you know you should be held to some kind of standard.
My Key says, honestly, I think that Bobby Scar has done nothing wrong, but the Redditor did bring up a point that he was worth thinking about in regards to altering people's opinions. Again, I believe Bobby Scar has done nothing wrong, but the point is worth considering.
These guys are unkillable. Did you see this?
Yeah, man, unkillable.
Fuck! Maybe I have to get these stupid pig weapons and then murder
What
them
is with
it.
this short hair Ben S thing? I got a haircut. That's it.
That's it. Alright, well that didn't work. I feel like I got to attack him from behind or some shit. Can I block his sword strike?
I don't know. I think the thing, your opinion on like the fact that commentators don't get paid, so nobody should give a shit, is like real bad, right?
I think that's stupid.
Yeah, I think that's stupid. Oh, I thought you were saying that that was the case.
No. Someone had said that on Reddit or on Twitter, and I disagreed with it. Oh my god, did you see that counter? That counter was like literal god tier. That was gravy level reaction.
What?
You just didn't see it.
Was that a compliment?
It was.
Okay.
Gravy's reactions are basically god tier. Did you see that? There's a moment, a Gravy moment linked in that thread of him tight chasing a box. Is like the most badass thing of all time. It's like 2 power shields.
I did not. I did watch. I did watch the Bay Area Monthly video. That was hella funny.
Yeah, I told you what I thought about that.
Scar, do you think you are less likely to call out a top 6 player if they're playing late?
No. I personally don't, but there could be data points proving me wrong.
I don't know. I think that you used to do it far more than you do.
Yeah.
And then because that person was a top player, or is a top player, a lot of people got upset and you stopped doing it. And like, I don't know. Maybe
I don't like the idea that, I don't like the idea of having like blatantly biased commentary. That sounds bad to me. So, you know, and sometimes I do have like subconscious biases, right? And so in those cases, like I'm a little extra sensitive. For example, you know, I'm close friends with Mango, and I don't, you know, want that to influence my commentary too much. So I'm more receptive if someone's telling me like, you know, you're being super biased against, for example, Armada or Hungry Box or PvP. Just because I know myself, I'm more likely to be biased against them in those situations. But yeah, I mean, you know, Westballs, I remember, like, you know, Westballs camped the shit out of Armada in that one set. I'm pretty sure that I called them super lame. I don't know. But, like, lame's not always bad. I don't know.
No, I mean, I don't think so.
Definitely context-wise, like, or connotation-wise, it's like a negative thing, but
what's up with the Destiny Fan 21?
it's like an approach to the game.
I mean, yeah. I don't know. I don't really have too much to say on this. Too much more to say on this topic. Maybe other people in chat do.
I think, yeah, everybody wants something. Like, the variance of, like, the feedback that I get is, like, so crazy. People literally ask for the exact opposite thing regularly. So there's definitely no way I can please everybody. And from my perspective, like, I have license to be honest with, like, what I'm seeing and kind of communicate things as I see them. And, like, the people who don't like it or whatever, like, I don't know. I want to hear from everybody, and I want to know, like, whether or not... That's what I would love. That's the holy grail for me, is having, like, a real understanding of the landscape of people who listen, you know? Like, understanding what people actually do want to hear at tournaments. And not the players. Like, the players are blatantly biased in terms of what they want out of the commentary. They want me to say that they're amazing. Right?
I don't know.
They do. Of course they do. Every player that I've never heard someone that I said something positive about come back and say, you know, oh, Scar, you suck. But if I say something negative about their opponent, they don't give a shit. But as soon as I say something like negative about them, then, you know.
Well, it's rarely about them. It's usually more about their play, right?
Yes. But you understand my point.
Yeah. They take it as a personal attack.
And so I don't want to optimize my commentary for what players want.
Yeah. I mean, the other...
I did not get Zelda yet, though, right? I got a problem here. Did I run away without unlocking...
Without unlocking Zelda?
I think I might have, like, actually fucked something up hardcore.
Are you not entertained? Another problem, this is in Bark70 says, another problem is there's no good way to address problems as they arise.
What does that mean?
I don't know. I think it's like... People are complaining, right? Gravy's complaining, people in Reddit are complaining, right? It's like difficult to deal with those types of problems, except in intervals like this, right? When they happen, it's pretty difficult for them to get people's minds changed on the spot. I feel like, Command Battle says, I feel like people have become too entwined with their comfort zone, and if it is even a tiny bit outside of it, they freak out, even if the critique is valid. I actually kind of disagree with that. And again, I think this goes to your point, Bobby, where it's like, I guess there's two different classes of viewers, right? There's like the viewers, the people who are actually watching the broadcast, and then the players. The viewers are rarely ever offended, right? Because you're never saying anything negative
Right.
About the viewers. Maybe they're offended because you said something bad about a player that they liked, but
Yes.
you're never actually saying, like, hey, you know, Mango Puff 69 in the chat, fuck you, right? You're never saying
Right.
stuff like that. And the players...
Did I fuck something up? Can somebody tell me if
I think so.
Did anybody say in the chat?
No.
I think if they're not saying, "Oh my God," you know, Scar just ruined the whole game, then it's probably fine.
Yeah. Well, I guess what I'm going to say basically lines up completely with what PJ Rusito says. Gravy's complaint was pretty fair. He also never called out Scar. He was just like, shit's hard, man.
Yeah, and I agree with that. It is. It sucks. It sucks being in the spotlight sometimes.
So.
I felt really bad about some of the conclusions you drew, honestly.
Me?
No, Gravy. Like, one of the things that he said was like, I'm never going to be social again in tournaments. Like, I don't know. That's a sad conclusion from my perspective.
If you smell what the Rock is cooking. The Rock says, the Rock says,